Greetings, family, and welcome to another informative episode of SBAH Radio Podcast. My name is Siphokazi. Every hour, someone is diagnosed with blood cancer or a blood disorder. This could be a child, a family member, a neighbor, or myself or yourself. August is set aside as National Organ Donor Awareness Month. However, while the number of patients waiting for a transplant increases, there is a shortage of potential donors. The reality is only 0.36% of South Africans are registered as stem cell donors, and of that small group, 10.5% are Asian, 9% are colored, and in the past year, 52% of the new registers are black people. This means that the minority groups face a more difficult time finding perfect matches. Ms. Shabalala, may you please tell us what is the medical importance of stem cell donation?
A bone marrow stem cell donation, it is used to treat a wide range of blood disorders, such as leukemia, myeloma, bone marrow failure disorder, and sometimes bone marrow transplant. It is the only hope that a patient has to be getting a second chance in life. And South African bone marrow was actually founded in 1991, which is about 34 years now, by the late Peter Jacobs and also Annette Dutot. So when they founded this registry, when they opened this registry, they saw a need because only 30% a chance that a patient has from a sibling donation. So you can only match 30% from your sibling, and the 70% lies from a total stranger, meaning that they saw that if a 70%, which is such a huge gap, that if you do not get a sibling, meaning 70% of them who do not have a sibling match, they actually do not have any chance in life.
You're talking about siblings. I just want to know, what are the common misconceptions of bone marrow donation?
So as a registry, we had to conduct a national survey in order for us to understand the myth, to understand the barrier from people becoming donors. So we actually were able to find out that culture and belief, they play a huge role. Lack of awareness, people not being aware of the bone marrow transplant itself, and also people thinking that it is actually a painful and invasive procedure, and also the one that I actually get to hear a lot when we're doing the donor drive, as people thinking that we grill into people's bone, which is not the case. So when we come to this list, so those are the ones that we were able to find from the survey.
Ms. Shabalala, you spoke about culture. What are some of the stumbling blocks that you have encountered as an organization, and how did you manage to overcome?
So this myth, it's not even just as an organization that has to find a way. So for example, as myself, as much as I am an employee from the South African Bone Marrow, I'm also a donor. So I am registered, and I also donate blood. So in terms of culture and belief, for example, for myself, what I have dealt with my grandmother, because she is older, she just doesn't understand why should one be donating anything. And then you will get my husband, which is, he is an educated person, but you still get him when I have to donate blood. So he will still ask me if, why are you donating blood? Did you pray for your blood? Do you know where your blood is going? So you still have to deal with such things. Do you understand? And also with the grilling of the bone, people still think that, I feel like the media has done so much damage, and that now with such shows, with you guys inviting us, it help us to actually change the perspective, because people still think that we go through and we do lumbar puncture, which is not the case. So I would say with awareness, it helps a lot. So people need to be aware. And if we're talking about awareness, you can't simply think that it's only a public. So you get to deal with healthcare professionals that on your side, you will think that they understand this process, and you will get a shock of your life when you realize they also are not aware. So awareness, awareness, awareness. We need more of these shows. We need more companies to invite us. We need a government to step in so that we could be able to spread the awareness so that people could understand the importance of becoming donors.
That is true. I mean, after all, it is August and it is Organ Donor Awareness Month. So awareness, awareness, awareness. I just want to understand, what role does ethnicity and diversity play in stem cell donation?
It actually plays a huge role, and as South African Bone Marrow, we are accredited registry in South Africa, and we also are part of the World WMDA, which is the World Marrow Donor Association, which has over 43 million donors. So a patient is more likely to match in their own ethnicity group. So about 72% Caucasian has a chance of matching, and then when it comes to other ethnicity, it actually there's a massive drop, which is about 37%. So with that, you can actually see the difference that it actually plays an important role.
You mentioned earlier that you do not grill bones. So I just wanted to find out, what is the process of bone marrow stem cell donation? And is it safe for us?
So the procedure to donating blood stem cells is actually very easy. It's painless and not invasive. And so for people that are already donating blood, so we normally compare it that it is similar to how you would donate platelets. So your blood gets drawn from one arm, and then it goes through a stem cell separator, which separates your blood and your cells, and then it gets pushed back to your body on the other arm. So it's a procedure that will take 4 to 6 hours. Still, we're saying it's not invasive because it's similar to donating blood. And also the process itself, side effects, donors would normally report to us that after donating, they will report symptoms like flu-like, body pain, because your body was working overtime to produce more cells. And others, they actually do not report none, because the process itself is actually not invasive. There's no anesthetics, there's no incisions, we're not drilling to any bone. So, but prior to donating, 5 days prior to donating, you actually receive a series of injections, which we call it GCSF, which this injection helps to stimulate the stem cells and help it to push through to your bloodstream. So this helps for the stem cells to multiply, because our bodies already, they produce stem cells by themselves. Just that when it produces just enough for yourself. So with these injections, it helps to multiply the cells.
Well, I'm glad to hear that it's painless. I might even reconsider myself. So how can people get involved in bone marrow awareness, and how can someone like myself get involved in donation?
If you are between the ages of 16 to 45, it is a simple process. You can do it online by filling in an online application on our website, www.sabmr.co.za. So once you have done that online application, so you'll be able to do swabs, which can be done in our depot, like Intercare, Pathcare, or we can actually courier the swabs into a comfort of your own home, free of charge. So we do not charge people to become donors. So once you have done your swab, you collect it, it gets sent to the lab, an accredited lab, and then once we have received your results, it gets captured into our South African database, so that if there is a patient that is in need, they can search and check. So it allows you to be able to give a gift to someone else, a gift of life.
That was Siphokazi Shabalala from the South African Bone Marrow Registry. Ms. Shabalala, is there anything that you'd like to add?
Thank you, Olusegun. All I would like to say to people is that offer help, register to become donors, motivate others. If you have the awareness, make other people aware, educate other people. And if you can't become a donor because of the restrictions, you can actually offer financial donation. You can actually do that on our website, and you can also purchase sexy socks, which is just 200 to support the initiative. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you for joining us in the studio. And are you a bone marrow recipient? Scan the QR codes on the screen right now. We'd like to know about your story. Follow us on our Facebook page at SBAH Radio, also on our TikTok and YouTube at SBAH Radio. Thank you. My name is Siphokazi. Till next time.